Yeah, I did check that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Poppies fans, wherever you may be, to Leiston, the Flannery, or Victory Road, depending on which era of Leiston fan you come from. It is back. Well, it's Happy New Year, actually, isn't it? We haven't had a game. It's 2026. It's the first one of 2026, given that postponed fixture last week. And the Poppies are away at this glorious little stadium in Leiston. It's been a long drive, and then it was made even longer by the A12 being shut, and then it was made even longer by both diversions being flooded. I understand the team coach and the sports coach had quite an enjoyable trip down some country lanes, but everyone seems to have turned up here on time. We were worried that we might have to delay kickoff a little bit if they were a little bit longer, but they're here, they're warmed up. In fact, there's no one left out on the pitch other than the Kettering subs in glorious sunshine, although sub-zero temperatures. I will be joined by Gary Foreman in a moment, but I'm currently joined by Peter Short. Peter, how are you?
Some of us turn up on time, don't they, Ed? So...
Well, they do, exactly. Some of us, leave early enough. But
or don't sit in the prawn sandwich ring.
Or don't sit in the prawn sandwich room, yeah. How are you seeing this game then? Because it's the first one since that Harbour game where, for all intent and purposes, attacking-wise, Kettering were quite good. But defensively, I mean, it's not unfair to say all 4 goals came from really poor mistakes from the defence.
Exactly that. I spoke to Liam for another radio station pre-match, and he said exactly that. He's had a long time to think about it, reiterated in the changing room, but actually played very well against Harbour. The reintroduction of the captain should hopefully lend that louder voice, which I think sometimes Kettering have been accused of not having at the moment, and could shore up the defence. Because, as you say, the front end, Kettering are sound as a pound, and the reintroduction of Callum Powell, I think, at Harbour Town, I think he could do a really good job here. I think that extra week off, has really helped Kettering Town with their squad selection, because it's allowed these niggles and injuries to be cleared up completely. Even Lewis Coyle is available on the bench today, so that pretty much is a full squad to choose from. And I think this is the squad now taking us all the way to April. He's reiterated there's still a target. That playoffs is still the target. And the squad we see in front of us, bar maybe another Loney introduction, is going to be it now.
Yeah, and it's not a changed lineup other than Forsyth coming in for Bitmo. It is the 10, if you like, then, that started that game at Harbour. So he obviously saw enough. And to be fair, we all saw enough in that first half against Harbour to know that this Kettering team can cause problems. Just, clear the ball when it comes here and don't pass it straight to an attacker playing for the team at the top of the league.
It's an easy game at the Terrace,
isn't it?
Exactly. And yet again, this is why Kettering Town were the most frustrating teams to watch. They're frustrating when they play well, because they just shoot themselves in the foot time and time again. Both goals they did score, well taken, and they created so many those balls flashing across the face of goal. But this time, when they beat them, was it Bury 3-0? There were low balls flashing across. This time they're trying dinky low loopy balls, and they've got the likes of Liam Dolman and Paul Malone coming on for the bench. It's not going to work, lads. I mean, it's like they hadn't done their research, and I think it's just those minutiae, attentions to details, and I say the extra time off hopefully has allowed the squad to get them together. Apparently there's lots of Zoom meetings, because a lot of these players are Birmingham based. I'm not entirely sure how much snow has been up there, but I believe quite a lot, so they've not come to training. So there's been a lot of Zoom chats and stuff like that, and back to blackboard lesson style teaching, and that's maybe what these players need, because they have the talent. They just need that the dots joining up for them now and again.
Yeah, definitely agree. And it was a different formation against Harbour as well. We went to a back 3, which of course was a favourite of Simon Holyhead. It didn't really work under Simon. There were flashes that it could work under Liam. I know there was a lot of discussion about changing the formation and changing an entire system for your derby game against top of the league. And I think he probably would have been frustrated that it didn't pay off for him. But we now have to look towards this Leiston side, who it's been happy hunting really for Kettering. Leiston, I wasn't here last year, but I was here the year before. It was one of the only wins for Andy Lees in the league for Kettering here, 2-0. So I don't really know what to expect from this game. You would expect if form and everything was taken into account, Kettering should get the job done today. But it's football. That pitch will be heavy. It did pass an inspection, and it does look in relatively good nick, but it will cut up it did pass an inspection, and will they use that to their hands, Leiston?
Well, that's exactly, and this is where Kettering need to show their fitness now and want to be involved in those dogged games. That's what they're going to have to play at Latimer Park for the next few months. Can they do it here as well? One quick note: it is a very low sun. It's a beautiful blue sky here, very low sun, and of course, this time last year, Billy Johnson, former Kettering goalkeeper, gifted Kettering their opening goal with the howler of the season. So very similar. Generosity from him would be appreciated. We say happy hunting ground here, the Flannery for Kettering Town, and you say one of the rare wins for Andy Lees, which is one of the few positives we can say. But all looking good here for Kettering. They've not got a particularly top goal scorer similar to Kettering. The ties they've got is Ben Folkes with 6 goals. All the goals have been coming in 2s and 3s from midfielders, a couple of defenders. I mean, Levy Ando is nearly Kettering Town's top goal scorer at the moment, is he, on form? So, as I say, I don't think this is going to be a 4-all thriller. I think a goal off someone's backside is what's going to win the game today.
Well, when we leave here after 8 goals going in, I'll bring you back to that one. Thank you.
I can't wait.
Thank you, Shorty, and Mr. Foreman, I believe, is going to come and join us in just a moment. But the teams are in the tunnel. We are in, unusually, an actual commentary box today. We are enclosed with perspex glass in front of us, although it does mean that the corners are slightly difficult to see from because we're set back into this stand. But yeah, we have warmth, and we're in the dry if it is going to rain, but it doesn't look like it is. It does also mean that you probably won't hear the bumper crowd that's turned up to the Flannery today. They did have a good crowd here. Last time they played here, it was Needham Market towards the end of last year. I think they were 560, I think, which for Leiston, with the average that they have, is a big game for them, a big gate. With a fair few from the Poppies from Kettering have travelled up, but we will wait to see how much noise they can make. The players still in the tunnel. This has been a long time where I've seen representatives, at least from both sides, stood in the tunnel area with the officials, but no emergence onto the pitch yet. We have ticked over to 3 o'clock as well, so it will be a slightly late kickoff because the referee is still with his back to us. We're opposite the tunnel. And in fact, they're moving back into the tunnel again, the officials. And we're hearing that there's a kit clash with the socks. Welcome to 2026, everyone. Our first game is delayed because the socks are clashing. Well, I can't wait for about 15 minutes into this game when both pairs of socks are going to be brown with the mud that's going to be flying about on this pitch. But there we are. That's the reason for the delay. Happy New Year to you, Gary. And we've got a little bit more time to fill.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Ed. It's new year, new problems with regards to football. We had an interesting journey on the team coach here, I have to tell you, with the road closure, and we were down a single track row with the supporters bus directly behind us. Lots of cars coming in the opposite direction. You can imagine the mess. And we've managed to get here still, though, in pretty good time. And now we have a delayed kickoff because of socks. So what's happening this year?
Things can only get better, I think, is the
there's a song there somewhere. Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting sort of 4 months for Kettering this. If you look statistically, there really is still that chance that the Poppies can mount an attack on those playoff places, but the consistency has to start being there. I think for the Poppies, there have been some good results back end of 2025, but not often enough, and not in a row enough.
Yeah, I agree. Consistency is the key. It's been lacking all season so far. And we are going to need to get on a consistent run if there's any chance. And of course, I see the news out today that I thought, oh, that sounds good. And then I realised it's going to be from next season, the playoffs going down to 7th position, which will be handy this season, Ed.
Yeah. I thought that was only. Is that coming down to us as well? Is it?
It is. It's coming down to step 3 and step 4.
Now, whilst we've got time to kill, we can have a discussion about this.
Yes.
What a fortuitous. What a fortuitous we've stumbled on there. I'm not for that at all. I think, to be fair, if you finish 5th and still go up, you're very lucky. To finish 7th in a league of just over 20 and get promoted, I think, I'm not sure. This smacks of trying to elongate some excitement from the playoffs when I'm not sure competitively it's a fair advantage.
I know where you're coming from, Ed. I suppose if we are in sort of 8th, 9th position next season and looking to get into the playoffs, you think it's a good idea. If you're maybe second or third, fourth, or whatever, you probably won't be interested. But it does mirror what goes on above us in the National League, of course, and National League North and South. So I suppose you can say whether you agree with it or not, at least there's a consistent approach to the playoffs now.
Yeah, that's very true. And like you say, if you're in those sort of 9th, 10th places with 5 games to go, traditionally, maybe if you were looking at a 5 or 6 point gap in those 5 games, you're sort of keeping your eye in, but you probably accepted that it's a long shot. Now, if that gap now becomes 2 or 3 points with 5 games to go, that brings a lot more teams into the fray and should make it more exciting for more teams. And I guess in a way it will help teams at this level, because if there's still something to play for come the last 4 or 5 games, that might entice some fans into the grounds to spend money rather than last season. They'd maybe go, well, it's a nice day, there's nothing to play for, let's go shopping.
Yeah, which is the whole point of the playoff system in the first place, because in the old days, of course, pre-playoffs, it was purely where you finished in the league, and I still think to a certain extent, that's you should be rewarded for the position that you actually finish in, but things you could say move on, things can change, and one of the benefits of the playoff system is, as you say, it keeps the interest going a little bit longer for a lot more clubs. And maybe that will generate a little bit more interest from fans and a little bit more money on the turnstiles and at our level, and all the step 3 and indeed step 4 level. If you get an extra 30, 40, 50 people through the turnstiles, maybe, then that can help.
Certainly can, although it is an absolute gutter if you finish second and don't go up, and the team that finished 7th do. But playoffs is a lottery. That just extends that lottery a little bit. Still not on the pitch yet, although the teams are back in the tunnel again. I'm not overly sure how there can be a kit clash, given that Kettering would have been in red socks and Leiston in blue or white. So someone must have put the wrong socks on for the kit that they're wearing.
Well, unless it was just the goalkeepers.
Well, I wouldn't have imagined it take this long just to ask 2 goalkeepers to change 4 socks in total.
Well, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Stumbled for a second.
You wouldn't. Well, you wouldn't have thought so. But
anyway,
we get to look at the socks now. Kettering are they're in red, so that's
yeah. There we go. So it was Leiston who play in red socks. They've now been forced to change to blue. The Poppies then in their red shirts with that funky design on the front, black shorts with red trim and red socks. Their hosts Leiston now in all blue, playing or setting up as though they'll be kicking from our right to left. Although I think the coin toss will have a massive impact here, given that sun is very low. It's not exactly directly across the pitch. It would be in the faces of the teams defending the goal to our left to start off with. So that may come in. And as it stands, that would be Kettering who would have the sun in their faces to start this game. Today's referee is Alexander Ship. His assistants are Connor Knight and Callan Rogergen. If you've just joined us, the Poppies name nearly an unchanged starting lineup from Harborough. The only change is that Bitmo is on the bench and George Forsyth comes back into the starting lineup. Other than that, it's Alexander in goal, Ando, Isaacson, Forsyth and Glennon at the back. Thanodge, although it could be Rowe as well, actually, at the back if we go to that back 3. In there as well is Thanodge, Fatajo, Lewis, Powell and Panther. That's how the Poppies line up. For Leiston, former Poppy, Billy Johnson in goal, as Shorty said earlier on, gave that glorious howler against the Poppies last season, and it will be gratefully received if he does that again. It looks like the coin toss has happened. Leiston are going into a huddle, and the Poppies are lined up and out. It is also the first chance we get before we kick off to provide our condolences to the friends and family of Rowley Fox, long-time supporter and known by pretty much everyone at Kettering Town, who sadly passed away earlier this week. I would imagine that the next home game there will be some sort of tribute to him, and much well deserved as well. And again, all of our thoughts and condolences are with his family, his friends, and of course the travel club, who he was very vice chairman and very heavily involved with as well. So all of us here at Poppies TV, our condolences, and we are just about to get this game underway. 8 minutes past 3, socks sorted, feet on ball. It is Kettering who are going to get us underway, kicking from left to right, and away we go. Back with Glennon, who hits long forward looking for Powell, headed away by the Leiston back line and picked up in the middle of the park by the midfield. Good challenge by Thanoj. He can't keep it, and it's very scrappy on a bobbly pitch, which has just about survived the conditions. A long ball into the left channel for Leiston is picked up by Ando, back to Alexander, who clears first time and headed away by Eddie Jackson. Under pressure, launches that one forward again. Forsyth wins the header, and now a chance for Leiston to come down this left-hand side. Rowe is being faced up by Adam Mills. Rowe wins it there, but can only concede a throw-in on this left side. It is that back 3/back 5 that we saw at Harborough kicking off. The cross comes in for Leiston. Chance here by the left-hand byline, back out towards the touchline. Number 20 with it, can't get past Levy Ando, who does well, keeps the ball as well, and comes away with it at his feet. Clips it long. Fataggio doesn't get in the way of the defender, and it's cleared by Leiston only as far as Thanoj on the centre spot. Left to Ben Isaacson. Isaacson, in fact, it wasn't Isaacson, it's Forsyth. Here's Isaacson, now back to Glennon. And the Poppies recycle that one and start again. Glennon's under pressure by the number 16, Clemens. Back to Alexander. He's playing in what I think is the best kit for a while, that purple goalkeeping strip. Long ball forward, flicked backwards by the number 3, captain Seb Dunbar, into the hands of former Poppy Billy Johnson, as I just realised that our clock is quite large. I'll take that away. If you would take over, Gary, whilst I sort this little faux pas out.
Technical details, yes. Ball is back with Leiston, just inside the Poppies half. Ball pumped forward, but Forsyth will tidy up. Plays it back to Alexander, who launches it long, Panther underneath it, but hiked forward by Jackson. But Poppies pick up the ball on the halfway line with Blaine Rowe. Rowe looking for options, goes short to Lewis, back to Rowe, back to Ando. Poppies being forced all the way back to Jason Alexander, who's got to contend with the sun. Quite a strong low sun in his eyes this first half. It would have been a good toss to win at the beginning of the game, but not to be. And Leiston have a foul. A free kick just inside their own half. And Billy Johnson is going to come forward to take it. It's going to go long. Blois and Fawkes are the two strikers for the hosts this afternoon, but doesn't reach them. Lewis clears back to the halfway line, and then it's played all the way back to Johnson. Johnson launches again, better distance this time. Glennon underneath it, but it's half cleared only, and then Alexander completes the job. And the ball will trickle out on that far side for a throw in to Leiston. As Ed said, Leiston now at least playing in all blue rather than Red Sox. And that was the pure reason why we kicked off a little bit later. Poppies now, Callum Powell. Halfway in the Leiston half, tracking forward on that left-hand side, beats a man and then goes wide, gets the cross into the near post, but that's easily dealt with by Billy Johnson. In fact, it actually went out for a goal kick. 0-0 so far here at Leiston. Billy Johnson, former Poppies man, clears from the right. That was a little nudge in the back, which Rowe got away with. And then Glennon passes to Alexander. Alexander clears towards the halfway line. Ishfatado underneath it, gets a little flick on to Powell. Powell does well, finds Lewis. Lewis, great ball through on that far side, looking for Fataggio. Gets a shot in on the left, but good defending by Leiston initially, but the danger's not clear. But the ball ends up in the pouch of Billy Johnson, who clears forward quickly. Game is actually being played at a very quick pace so far this afternoon. Ball in the centre circle, bobbling around a bit. It's tidied up. Comes to Adam Mills. Mills launches it forward, looking for Fawkes, but Leviando does well, gets his body in between the ball, and it's released on that far side. But Poppies do give the ball away. Leiston take possession back in the Poppies half. Good ball forward to Clemens. Clemens 30 yards out. And well done by Leviando clearing the ball out for a throw-in.
You might have a shot there, Clemens, actually.
I thought so. He's 30 yards out, but you've seen it was quite enticing. The Poppies defence were backing off a little bit. He tried to thread the needle, and in the end, Ando cleared.
Yep, good news. The clock has been sorted and back to a normal size. Interplay by Leiston is cut out by Kettering. Fataggio bundles his way past one and finds Powell in acres of space as well, by the way. Callum Powell is bearing down on goal on the left-hand side. A few step overs. Towards the byline he goes, and it's a goal kick. Not overly sure how. It must have bobbled up and shinned it out of play, because that looked like it was a brilliant opportunity for Powell. He couldn't believe how much space he'd got on the left-hand side, and it just didn't come off for him.
Yeah, that sums up Callum, unfortunately, at the moment. It just didn't come off for him. He looks quite dangerous when he's in flight with the ball, but it's the once he gets towards the end product stage, he looks a little bit, I don't know about nervous, but uncertain, shall we say. And the chance passes him by.
Here's Fataggio laying it back to Forsyth, playing on the left-hand side of that back three. Here's Glennon playing in the centre, who's under pressure, goes back to Alexander, who's going to get one touch at this and plays it to Glennon just about, and to Ando. That's very brave but good football from Kettering on this bobbly pitch. Ando out wide right to Rowe, and to be honest, I think that's more Rowe's fault than it is Ando's. Rowe was too slow to react, and out for a throw in it goes. And the two exchange a glance. Johnson takes a touch and then clears long, looking for Glennon, who's facing into that sun. Forsyth comes round to cover, clears high away, brought down by Lewis. An almighty thud between two players there, and away comes Clemens with it. A big, strong unit is outmuscled by Thanodge, but he gives the ball straight back to Leiston. It's on this left-hand side now with Dunbar, the captain. Seb Dunbar, looking for options on this left-hand side, goes back to his number 8, Fraser Alexander, who's in a more traditional left-back position than central midfield. Forward he goes, easily straight to the feet of Ando. Oh, Thanodge has bit too lax there and gives the ball straight away to the number 11, who has a chance. He will shoot. It's deflected off Glennon and away, and then Thanodge just plays that out of play for a throw-in. That's it's pronounced Leiston, is it? I do apologise. I've never known. Even if you'd not told me, even during this broadcast, I'd have flitted between the two. So I'm going to stick with Leiston then. And it is Leiston who have the ball on the right-hand side. Still going the number 7, beats Isaacson, and then his cross is battered out behind by Forsyth for the first corner of the afternoon, and Leiston will have it on the far side, so the right-hand side of their attack. And who is it going to be? It's going to be the number 11, Adam Mills, to take it.
Yeah, and Callan McFadden and Eddie Jackson, two tall centre halves, have both come forward, as you would expect for Leiston. So first test for the Poppies defence from a corner.
He swung in left-footed towards the goalkeeper, and it was straight to the goalkeeper, Alexander, who collects easily. Wanted to bowl out quickly, is being delayed that. He kicks instead, looking for Panther, and Panther will try and use the bounce to his advantage, but it's good defending by Dunbar, who goes back to Johnson in goal. His first time kick is out of play for a throw-in, and that never looked good body position-wise. Rowe takes it quickly back to Ando, who turns the number 9, Ronnie Blois, and back to Jason Alexander in goal. Under no pressure, kicks long, looking for Panther again. He won't win that one, and Kettering don't win the seconds either, as Leiston come away with it, and a slip allows the ball to fire out of play onto the roof of the clubhouse for a throw-in. Clubhouse where we were enjoying watching Macclesfield dispatch Crystal Palace in the Emirates FA Cup.
Incredible result. That's the biggest difference, I think, for a cup win
117 places, I think it is,
Yeah.
between the two. So well done to Macclesfield as Rowe picks the ball back up and looks right to Lewis. Lewis down the line to Rowe. Rowe has a chance to put one in. He does. Good block by the number 4, Callan McFadden, but Kettering will have a corner and a chance to swing one in. Fataggio is going over to take it. So right-footed on the right-hand side of Kettering's attack. It will either be clipped or swung away from the goalkeeper. Up go the 3 centre-halves for Kettering. Glennon, Forsyth and Ando. It's Thanodge and Rowe who are asked to do the defensive duties. Of course, Ben Isaacson, the 6'4" left back, is up there as well. All those in the box looking into the sun, though. In comes the corner, lofted in towards the back post. Johnson comes out, collects very easily, and looks to counter-attack long. It's not a bad kick, and between Rowe and Thanodge, they just about deal with it. Headed forward by Thanodge, picked up in the midfield by a blue shirt, and well tackled by Powell, who was fouled. Referee says play on, and Panther does well, and then Callum Powell is fouled for a second time, and the referee says there's no advantage there, have the free kick.
Yeah, the second one looked a bit questionable. The first one was that the referee tried to play advantage 2. Adam Mill was just getting a word from the referee this afternoon. Now backing away.
So, Thanodge over it. He's looking directly into the sun. It is on the right-hand side of Kettering's attack, but only just inside opposition territory. He will lob this one into the penalty area, looking for Isaacson. Isaacson wins the header, and I think it may go out for a goal kick. Has it? It has. Of course, I couldn't quite keep it in. And goal kick it will be. 12 minutes gone, 0-0. No real opportunities here. You're listening to Poppies TV audio, sponsored by Elgood's Brewery. There's not really a lot to discuss at the moment. We are a delayed kickoff. If you're wondering why we're 20 past 3 and only 12 minutes gone, there was a sock kit clash before the game started, so that had to be sorted out. Of course, just speaking about Macclesfield and Crystal Palace, there is certain Tottenham Hotspur playing in the FA Cup this afternoon, and they have got Aston Villa.
Yeah, I'm a Villa fan this afternoon. I'm sure
Yes, I think we all are.
Yeah, well, unless you are a Spurs fan as well as a Kettering fan, of course.
Yeah.
But yes, let's hope that they get knocked out.
To nil as well would be fantastic.
Yeah, score no goals.
Here's Fataggio in the middle of the park, left-footed out to Isaacson. He's sold him very short, but the number 7 ankle there went down in stages as he kicked the ball out of play for a throw-in. Isaacson throws long, looking for Panther. He doesn't reach him, and away come Leiston. Good interplay from them in their midfield, and they squirm it out to the left-hand side to Mills. It's still in his own half. Mills goes long. Ando heads that one away. Brought down on the chest of Lewis. Back to Thanodge. Thanodge to Rowe. Rowe, good first touch, sets him off down the right-hand side. He's held up now by Dunbar. In the middle, he goes to Lewis, and then Lewis out left to Forsyth, who's barreling forward. He's got Isaacson to his left, which he uses, and now a chance for Isaacson to put one into the penalty area. He does, puts it low, bounces once and cleared out as far as Thanodge. Thanodge looks for options forward. He finds Fataggio on the left-hand side. Fataggio now lofts one in. That's too lofty. Oh, Johnson doesn't really get it away. And it's a volley by, who was that in the middle? Callum Powell, blocked, he thinks, by the hand of a Leiston defender. Referee waves away any protests. That was a nervy moment for Billy Johnson as he flapped at that one horrendously. Oh, Lewis has lost the ball here, and here comes Clemens, and he's got past Leviando. And Leviando is saying he didn't touch Clemens. There was minimal contact, but there was contact. And I wonder whether he's going to get a talking to. I wonder whether he may, in fact, get something more than a talking to.
No, it's just going to be talking to him. There we go.
There we are. Don't do it again.
But that was a good chance for the Poppies earlier on. Callum Powell, he did everything right, half volley, and at least they've taken it quick.
Leiston.
Sorry. Leicester have taken
The Blues
it quick,
have taken it quick.
but they wish they hadn't, because they've just given the ball back to the Poppies. But Poppies in return the favour all the way back to Billy Johnson. But Johnson again had a moment, and the ball comes to Powell. Powell now with a long shot. Oh, it's hit Eddie Panther. Can you believe it? Billy Johnson tying himself up in knots again, and Powell with a long distance shot hit Panther on the back, and Leiston eventually get the ball back themselves. But Billy Johnson looks a bit
nervous. It's been a while since he's
nervous.
played for Kettering, but you wouldn't be able to tell, would you? Because
No,
he's passed to Kettering more times than he's passed to his own teammates.
Yeah. But to be fair, when he was played for us, he had some moments, shall we say?
Well, this is true. He's passed to us more today than he did to us when he was playing for us, Billy Johnson. Here's Mills. That's harsh. I do apologise. It's and also blatantly untrue. Foul there as Lewis is side down, and then Kettering are unhappy because they feel Leiston have kicked the ball away after the whistle had gone. And in fact, Adam Mills is going to have a talking to, and so is the captain, Seb Dunbar. I think Kettering have got a reason to be upset there. Fatajo had his hand nearly on the ball to take it quickly. And I mean, Adam Mills hasn't just tapped the ball away, he's put it out on the far side and it's hit the boundary fence.
He's getting a final warning. That's why he called the captain across.
Only 5 games have survived the weather in our league. Here, of course, Leiston Kettering 0-0. Spalding versus Harborough, the top of the table clash, if you will. Spalding are ahead in that 1-0. It is, and I can't see who scored the goal yet, but we'll have a look. 0-0 between Stratford and Redditch as a foul against Kettering in the middle of the park. Sudbury 0, Bishop Stortford 1, and the other game today, Worcester 0, Banbury 0. The game's postponed. Barrow, Howes Owen, Rail Bedford, Needham Market, Royston Bury, Stamford St Ives and Stourbridge Corn all postponed today's fixtures. This one, I think, to be fair, the majority of us were expecting this one to be postponed given the recent weather, but they've done well enough, the ground staff here. It's certainly not escaped some damage, the pitch, but it's holding up pretty well. Johnson takes that one quickly, headed not away really by Rowe. Mills lofts one in, one bounce into the hands of Alexander, who has clashed straight into the side of the head of Forsyth. And the physio, Michael Hunter's called on immediately. That looked nasty even from back here.
Yeah, that was what you call friendly fire. That was Alexander. He's a tall man, as we know. He's quite a big man as well. And Forsyth tried to do his defensive duties at the same time. Basically, just got clattered. So let's hope the magic sponge will revive it.
Goodness me.
Well, I was going to say that's probably what it needs in this weather, because it'll be very cold out there. We are quite fortunate to have our own box to commentate. What's even better is we've got it to ourselves. There is no Leiston media team in here commentating, so we can say what we want really without consequence. But there is consequences for George Forsyth at the moment, but he's sitting up now, which is a more healthy sign at least. And knowing the warrior that he is, George, he'll be back on his feet shortly. We can get underway again. But yes, pitch-wise, we didn't have to worry about the ice and the snow and frozen pitches in these parts. It was a question of the amount of rain that we've had here for the last 36 hours. But does seem to be holding up pretty well so far, at least, which is testament to the groundsman as well. So well done to them.
Yeah.
Forsyth is back on his feet now, just going off to the sideline after treatment.
Yep, drop ball straight to Jason Alexander, who picks up and will have the ball in his hands to clear this one long, which he does up into the sky, looking for Powell. Powell can't win the header. Isaacson falls on the second ball and gets it back to Forsyth, who's back on the pitch. Lofts one forward, cleared away, thumped away by the back line of Leiston. And a throw in for the Poppies on the halfway line. Just about to come to 20 minutes, 0-0. The only real chance is a volley from Callum Powell that was blocked by a Leiston defender after a flap at the ball from Johnson. Powell did have another chance after another little faux pas by Johnson, but that effort was blocked by Eddie Panther, frustratingly. Thanodge with the ball back to Ando. He clips high and long looking for Panther. Panther doesn't win the header, and it's cleared away to Mills. Mills further forward, and a throw-in is won by Ronnie Blois. Taken quickly down the line, looking for Clemens. Clemens is felled, but safely by Thanodge, and Kettering clear long from Ando. Panther is adjudged to have fouled Dunbar, who went down, and we could hear that scream inside our encased commentary position as well. He was very wanted to make it very clear to the referee that there was a nudge in his back. The linesman is telling Billy Johnson where to take the free kick from, and he is obliged. In all green today, Johnson kicked long into Kettering territory, headed up by Forsyth, only as far as the number 7 Rangel. Rangel now back and gets it back, but no, he doesn't. Poor pass, and Lewis has a chance to set Kettering forward. Isaacson clips long, and that's really poor from Isaacson. Spooned that one straight out of play for a throw-in on the far side for the hosts. It's now Sudbury 0 at Bishop Stortford 2 in that game. After just about half an hour. Spalding still leading league leaders Harborough 1-0 at Spalding. Everywhere else is 0-0, including here. Glennon, slide challenge, puts the ball out of play for a throw-in for Leiston further down the pitch. That goes backwards and back to the throw-in taker, and then back again, and across it will come all the way to Callan McFadden. Bit of interplay between the back line of Leiston, and Billy Johnson says no more of that, thank you, and puts his boot through it. Headed away by Glennon, but only as far as Adam Mills. Adam Mills towards the left-hand side, clips one across. Glennon stabs it away. Thanodge lofts one forward for the run of Lewis, who does get there. His ball down the line will be cut out, and Panther puts pressure on, and in fact gets the ball back to Lewis, to Thanodge, on the right-hand side, right in front of us here. Thanodge clips one to Lewis. Lewis back to Thanodge. Slide tackle by Leiston, and then Dunbar headed out of play for a throw-in on the right-hand side of Kettering's attack, which Blaine Rowe is going to take. It does have a long throw, Blaine Rowe, but this seems a little bit too far out for that. So he goes backwards to Lewis, back to Rowe. Rowe skips past Mills well and bursts centrally. Rowe may have a shot here. He does, left-footed. Never really looked like it was going to trouble Johnson. It was sort of scuffed left-footed, wasn't it?
Yeah, very comfortable, that one for Johnson. Daisy cutter, I think we can describe it as Johnson clears. Andy Thanodge does well in midfield, finds Forsyth. Forsyth looking for options, goes long down the middle. Powell with the flick on, but can't find Panther. And the ball is back with Johnson. Finds Dunbar, and then on to Mills on this near side. Leiston attacking from our right to left. Blah with the flick back to Alexander, and then finds Jackson. And out to Rangel on the far side, on the halfway line. A little bit of interplay there, Rangel. Back across to Dunbar. Dunbar now goes long, but Ando does well to reach that one. But can only find Rangel. Rangel onto his right foot, and then onto his left. Shimmying one way and the other, finds Mills. Mills with the cross in. And that was a half chance at the near post, and it's only half cleared. And Bois Blah, as Ronnie Blah has got his head to it, and I'm afraid the Poppies are one down.
Yep, the ball in, first of all, was dangerous enough. Leiston kept it alive and lofted it back towards the back post again. And to be fair to Blah, all he had to do, well, sorry, all he had to do, what he had to do was put it right into the corner because Alexander was bearing across goal towards him. But it did go in, and the Poppies find themselves behind here at Leiston. Oh, Blois is the pronunciation that they've given him here. That's anglicised, I believe. I imagine.
Very much so. Blois is very much the French pronunciation for the place of Blois. In fact, we had a king, Stephen of Blois, who's King Stephen of England back in the 12th century.
And there we go, everyone. Not
I can do history. I can do
horrible
football. I
histories
can
as
do
well.
history.
But what is horrible and not so much history is the fact that the Poppies are 1-0 down here at Victory Road, or the Flannery, whichever you want to call it. It's not looking like Victory Road for the Poppies. 1-0 down they are, and Ronnie Blois is the man who's put them ahead, the home side. Lewis lofts one forward. Here's Isaacson. Isaacson now lofts one in. It's cleared away off their own man, but into the hands of Johnson. And to be fair, it's the first time that Alexander's really been tested. He's claimed a few crosses. It's the first time Leiston have had a shot on goal. The Poppies have looked more likely to do something, but the only thing they've done is concede. They have got a throw in, though, deep inside their own territory to our left. Blaine Rowe with the ball in his hands and is now being told by the referee, Alexander Ship, to ship back, or row back, which is that's a twofold pun there for you. He leaves the ball for Ando, who will launch this long down the line. Mills wins the header. Thanodge gets in the way, keeps the ball in play, but gives up possession. That has gone all the way back to Billy Johnson in goal, whose first time lumps it forward again. Forsyth watches it well onto his foot, clears away. Bit of a melee in the middle of the park. It comes to to Leiston. Good challenge by Fataggio. He's hurt himself, though, but play continues. Here's Panther. Panther is fouled. Referee says he isn't. And it's all sorts of pushing, shoving, and tackles going in. Fataggio is still down and looks in some considerable pain. Leiston play on down the left-hand side. Here's the number 3, plays it through to Mills. Mills is onside, lofts one across the centre of the penalty area. Alexander comes barreling out and claims that one. Really good play from Jason Alexander. Fataggio, interestingly, is back up, and Alexander bowls that one straight out of play so that Fataggio can get some treatment. Adam Mills has been a real issue for Kettering on the left-hand side so far. And he was so again there. I wasn't too sure what Alexander was doing, launching himself out of goal to be further forward than all of his backline to claim that one, but he did well, the big Jason Alexander. Fataggio is now back on the deck and is being seen to by Michael Hunter. The Kettering players some of the Kettering players are going over towards the dugout to receive some instructions. Quite far dugouts from each other here. Shouldn't be too much conversation between the two benches. But there's Liam McDonald discussing things with Glennon and Blaine Rowe, and in fact Levy Ando as well.
Frustrating though, Ed, I have to say that there's not a lot been really going on in the game, and yet Poppies find themselves behind, which might have had a few games like that already this season, where a sort of a nothing match with fairly even Steven, and yet all of a sudden a chance comes from nowhere, and only a half chance at that, and we don't seem to get those kind of breaks at the moment. But at least Fataggio is back on his feet, walking a little bit gingerly back with Michael Hunter towards the touchline. But we're going to be back underway very shortly.
Yep, everyone's back up. No changes looking like it's necessary from the Kettering bench. All the substitutes still sat on the bench, huddled together in pink bibs and about 5 different layers. Just because the sun is out, it doesn't mean it's not chilly out there. Alexander kicks that one very long, again looking for Panther, who's being manhandled, but he will get the ball with some space on the right-hand side, but he falls over his own feet and out of play for a throw-in. Frustrating that from Panther, who's had a frustrating couple of games. Not really a lot to do with his own fault. He's just not had a lot of the ball over the last couple of games. We know what he can do when the ball is at his feet. Throw-in taken. Ando chests and lofts forward. Won't find Panther. Cleared away only as far as Forsyth. Forsyth's first thought is to go backwards to Alexander, who's got all the time in the world. Leiston not pressing him. He goes long looking for Isaacson. Isaacson jumps early and well, keeps the ball in play, but at expense of possession. Fataggio back on the pitch, gives the ball away and cleared long by Leiston again, which should be dealt with by either Ando or Rowe. Rowe is the man who picks it up and is immediately under pressure from Adam Mills and gives away a throw-in. Blaine Rowe needed to be a little bit more sharpish on that one.
Yeah, he thought he had more time than he had.
Certainly, it's now 1-1 Spalding and Harborough. Harborough have found an equaliser. Still Sudbury 0, Bishop Stortford 2. Stratford, Redditch and Worcester Banbury are 0-0 and 1-0 here to the hosts. The throw-in is going to come in long. It's just in a blind spot for us to our left. It will be launched in. There's no short options at all from Leiston. Still not being taken. The referee's blown his whistle to halt proceedings, which weren't actually really going anywhere anyway. But he's going to have a word with Levy Ando, and I don't know who that is for Leiston, but someone is causing some issues.
It's
is it Callan McFadden? No, it's not. Anyway, they're still at it, so it makes no difference what the referee's just said. Throw-in comes in, looped in, headed away by Ando, but only for a corner.
Bobby Jackson.
It was, and it's Rangel now who's going to be taking this corner. So on the left-hand side, he is a right footer. Again, it will be swinging towards Jason Alexander. Yeah, linesman in front of us wearing long sleeves, jumping up and down to try and keep some degree of warmth. The corner kick's been taken quickly and poorly. Leiston will be furious as Kettering clear that one away with ease, but only as far as Alexander. That's the one for Leiston, who slips a wonderful ball through to Rangel. Rangel towards the byline, left-footed. Kloss is a good ball in, headed away by Isaacson, only as far as the edge of the box for Fraser Alexander, whose half volley has gone into orbit, and a new ball will be needed. But another danger panic station there for Kettering at the back.
Yeah, it looked a little bit unsettled at times from the set pieces. Not quite dealing with the first heading opportunity to get it clear, and it's bouncing around a little bit too much for my liking in the Poppies penalty box.
Alexander's long kick is headed back the way it came by Leiston, and then Ando lofts one forward. Expecting Eddie Panther to do a lot there. There's going to be a throw-in for Kettering, although they want a free kick. That's not been given. Throw-in's been taken quickly to Lewis. Lewis tries to find Ben Isaacson, but he's lost possession of the ball and I think will foul the Leiston man. No, the referee's happy to allow that all to go on and Kettering keep the ball with Thanoj to Levy Ando. Ando bursting forward. He may shoot here, Levy Ando. He does shoot, and yeah, wow, that's onto the bowls green behind the ground. He did hit a decent shot against Harborough. It didn't go in, but it was well saved by the goalkeeper. That one, Billy Johnson can just stand there and watch it fly harmlessly high and wide and out of the ground, where a new ball will be required.
Yeah, Levy Ando scored a few goals for us recently. I think he's the top goal scorer at the club for the players that are still at the club. Anyway,
for this season, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Niall Ranger, I believe, remains our top goal scorer, but obviously is no longer here
and hasn't been for quite a while. And there's a story in itself, really, isn't it?
Well, it is. It did shock me to realise that he's still our top goal scorer, despite not having played for us for a few months now. That goal kick is cleared by Isaacson, who's looking for Panther, who is being, just battered by the centre halves there. It all looked shoulder to shoulder, to be fair, and Panther just lost out on the strength a little bit. But it doesn't stop the Kettering fans voicing their displeasure. Ando lofts one forward, easily cleared out. He'll get another chance to put it forward, though. In fact, he shimmies and goes backwards to Jason Alexander. Long kick forward by Alexander. Powell is just not winning that header. And Kettering are not winning those second balls either, which is what you've got to do when you're trying to lump it long to two small centre forwards. Isaacson heads the ball away, and then it's cleared along by Forsyth. Panther can't bring it under control, and Leiston go back to Billy Johnson. His kick, it's really good actually, well taken as well in the middle of the park by Leiston's number 9 and goal scorer Blois. Here's Seb Dunbar. Dunbar going forward. Clemens is out-muscled, but the clearance is only as far as Adam Mills. Thanodge does well and gets the ball to Fatajo, who in turn gets it to Alfie Lewis, bursting through the centre, finds Powell, who lofts a ball to where he thought Eddie Panther would be running to. Eddie Panther was not running there, and the ball has gone straight to Billy Johnson. 35 minutes gone. If you've just joined us, Leiston are ahead thanks to a header from Ronnie Blois. And since then, neither goalkeeper has really been troubled. And to be fair, before then, neither keeper had been troubled. That ball forward is cut out by Leiston again. These long ball forwards from Kettering are just not really doing anything for the Poppies, as they're being dealt with by the back line of blue shirts very well. Interplay by Leiston nearly gets them into trouble, but Clemens puts his foot on the ball and plays it wide right to Fraser Alexander, who goes further right still to Rangel. Here's Fraser Alexander again, back to Callan McFadden. And now Seb Dunbar, forward to Mills. Mills leaves the ball behind, but it's well recovered by the number 15, Jude Frostwick, who we've not mentioned much so far this first half. In fact, he plays the ball straight out for a throw-in for the Poppies, which Rowe is going to take. Rowe still with the ball in his hands. He's looking for a response before half-time. Brought down well by Panther, but his ball forward is cut out and Mills comes forward again. And they relax and go back to their back line, and all of that pressure from Kettering is relieved, and forward they come, Leiston, with Jackson. Jackson to Rangel. Rangel, nice 1-2, gets it back. Goes along to Frostic. Frostic to Dunbar. Dunbar wanted to go to Mills. That avenue was cut out, so he goes back to Frostic. His ball is easily cut out by Leviando, who should burst forward. He does, and has played the ball to Ishmael Fatajo on the right-hand side. Ishmael Fatajo has got Callum Powell overlapping, but he's got Leviando forward, and Leviando still going, should score. He's gone round the goalkeeper, gone past the defender, and his ball forward is cut out by a defender on the line out for a corner. What on earth was Leviando doing there?
I don't know, but it shows he's keen to get another goal, and he did very well initially. Took it around the defender, then took it around Billy Johnson, but the angle was quite acute at that point, and I think it was the striker actually, Bois, who tracked all the way back and put it out for a corner.
Well, Ishmael Fatajo is going to take this corner. Leviando has stayed up. And a chance to swing one into the penalty area now. Steps up, and it comes now. Swung in, should be cleared. It's not cleared. It's taken a horrible bounce. Glennon lofts one up, and Billy Johnson, under no pressure, claims that one. Panthers asking for a penalty. And there's still a little... Oh, well, I've just seen that. That was an elbow to Eddie Panther. I've just seen that. The defender has just elbowed Eddie Panther in the head.
Well, I must admit, I was following the ball, so I didn't see that, Ed. But Panther is hit the deck straight away.
There was an almighty sort of just arguing and sort of tangling of arms, and the defender swung an elbow at the side of Eddie Panther's head, and he's gone down. I'm afraid that is as clear as day.
Well, the question was whether the referee or his assistant on this near side has actually seen it, and that's what the Kettering players are asking the assistant on this side. We can't see we can't see the assistant here. We don't even know whether he put his flag up or not, whether he saw anything, whether the referee saw anything. So it might be a case that he's going to get away with it because nobody.
Well, the frustrating thing, the official there on the side can see that there's a tussle. He should be looking at that. Well, further forward.
Yeah, and that the referee is backing up now to talk to him. So
I'm sorry, that was as clear as day. The elbow came from the centre half into the side of the head of Eddie Panther. Now we saw, of course, at Harborough, Preston Bitmo get punched into the stomach. What's going on? There's going to be a yellow card. Is that for Eddie Panther? But I cannot believe that he is yellow carded Eddie Panther. I cannot believe he is yellow carded Eddie Panther.
Well, there we go. Eddie Panther is the only one who's been disciplined for that incident. Obviously, whether the assistant thought it was play action.
It must be Eddie. Well, unless it wasn't, there were a lot of players around the referee at the time that he brandished the yellow card. Unless I've just seen that he's gone to someone else who was stood next to Eddie Panther.
No, it was definitely a Kettering player, so it would have been Panther that was booked.
Well, I mean, it was as clear as day. The elbow was swung by the defender at Eddie Panther and caught as well. And somehow that ends in Eddie Panther being yellow carded. That is horrendous. Horrendous, I'm afraid. Ball goes forward, it's too far, and it will be into the hands of Billy Johnson. I cannot quite get over what I've just witnessed.
Well, that being the case, Ed, this is just typical, isn't it? These are the breaks that you should get, deserve to get, and we haven't got. And on that basis, we can feel justifiably upset about matters. But there we go, nothing given. We're going to have to get on with it. It's still got a couple of 3 or 4 minutes to go in this half.
There's another off the ball there as Clemens clatters into Will Glennon, but Kettering are attacking with Panther on the left-hand side, who is up. He loses the ball, then wins it back again, but they doubled up and it should be cleared away. It's not cleared away. It's still with Leiston's back line and now cleared only as far as Isaacson, who's fairly advanced. Here's Thanodge. Thanodge is muscled off the ball, though, and a chance to counter-attack by Leiston. Down the right-hand side they go, brought down fortuitously by Blois. He didn't know a lot about it, and Glennon tidies up only as far as Fraser Alexander. Alexander keeps the ball under pressure from Lewis, but Isaacson helps him out, and now Fataggio has the ball. Fataggio along to Levy Ando. Ando further right to Blaine Rowe. Blaine Rowe, right-hand side to, still bursting down the right-hand side, Blaine Rowe. Still going, Blaine Rowe. He's under a lot of pressure. He's been forced backwards. Now as far as Thanodge, who sprays one out left to Isaacson, who does have to retreat to get it. Right-footed it goes in, brought down by Powell, but lumped away. And Leiston try and get a hold on the ball. They haven't. Headed forward by Glennon. Lewis lofted left to Forsyth, who's ball forward. I'm not sure who he was trying to find there, unfortunately. But Kettering get the ball back again here. Lewis out wide right to Blaine Rowe. Blaine Rowe lofts one in, clips one in. Should be the goalkeepers. It is the goalkeepers. He's done well. Billy Johnson. Excuse me. Oh, his kick is awful, though. And Leviando should deal with this one. He's going to let it run out of play for a throw-in, is he? Now what's going on? The referee is going to book Willie Clemens
for that tackle on Glennon earlier, where the referee played advantage.
Yes. Well, I'm judged by this referee, Glennon should be going in the book. But there we are. Clemens is booked. Willie Clemens. He's had a good first half, it has to be said. I'd be very interested to see the VO footage of that. The frustrating thing is will the VO footage have it? Because I believe these things track the ball, and the ball was a
They
long
do.
way forward.
Yeah.
So it's only whether
I was tracking the ball.
yeah, it's only whether the sort of the camera angle is a wide enough lens to have still been in the penalty area. What's going on here? It's all manner of shouting. It's a throw in for Leiston. They thought the ball hadn't gone out and had carried on attacking. The referee says it has gone out. The linesman in front of us is the one who didn't see the fracas in the penalty area. So his credibility, I'm afraid, is shot. Flicked forward by Mills. And it's going to be, I don't know, the ball's still in play, is it? No, it's a throw in for Kettering. As we tick over to 45, we haven't had a board yet. The board is now on its way. Picked up by Thanos, still waiting for the board to be hoisted. There it is, 5 minutes added on to this first half then. Ball lofted forward looking for Panther, cut out by Lewis. His ball forward is easily dealt with though. And they will have a chance to counter-attack on the left-hand side, Leiston. They pass that opportunity up and are keeping the ball under a bit of pressure, though. And Panther has the ball now. He should shoot, really. He should shoot. Panther, in fact, plays in. Lewis! Oh, he put it over! Alfie Lewis has had the glorious opportunity to draw Kettering level just before the half-time whistle. Wonderful play from Fatajo and Powell to win the ball back. Nice pass left by Panther to find Lewis, who was all on his own. He took one touch and all he had to do was slot it into the back of the net, and he got underneath it and cleared the crossbar.
He has to score. He has to score. At this level of football, you have to put that kind of chance in the back of the net. And we talked about Leiston having a sort of half chance and burying it, and that was a full chance, and we haven't buried it, and that is disappointing. Really is disappointing.
Yeah, you can't get, you couldn't dream of a better opportunity, really. Throw in goes Leiston's way, just on the halfway line. The referee telling him where to take it from is completely ignored. Headed away by Rowe. Cleared away by Ando. Panther has the ball, is under a lot of pressure. Well, he's going to get a free kick there, and he fell over the ball. I don't think it quite makes up for the fracas in the penalty area, but yeah, Thanos wanted to take it quickly, doesn't. Leaves it for Ando, who sprays one out towards Isaacson, brought down on his chest well. Down forward now. Here's Callum Powell on the left-hand side, onto his right foot. Will whip one in towards the back post. He's overhit that. You could tell the moment that it left his boot that was overhit. Long out for a goal kick, and I shan't repeat your analysis of that cross in there, Gary, but it wasn't.
No, my analysis as far as airing is concerned, he needs to do better. He's got more quality than that, Callum Powell, but that's a few times now he's trying to put crosses in, and he's not just overhitting them; he's overhitting them by miles.
Yeah, far too overhit. 2 minutes of this half to go, though. 5 was added. We're into the 48 gone. Lewis can't bring that under control, and Leiston will come forward. That's dealt with by Glennon just about. He gives Alexander a bit of work to do, though. Does it well. Fatajo nods it left to Isaacson. Isaacson's ball forward is lofted high and won't be there for Powell, but they will win a throw-in a dangerous area now. And Isaacson does have a hell of a launch on him, and it will be him who take it. No, he's leaving it for Blaine Rowe. I don't understand this. Isaacson, we've seen, can launch the ball in, and I know he's a big target man that you'd want in there, but bringing Blaine Rowe all the way over from right back to take it, he can. He does have a good throw, Blaine Rowe, but in fact, he might not even use it. He might go back to. He doesn't actually. Lofts it in, flicked on by Isaacson. Glennon, it sort of comes off his back and is cleared away and needs to be dealt with by Kettering because by himself is Wrangle. Well done by Andy Thanot. He's clipped. Referee says advantage as the ball goes wide right to Panther. Panther lofts one in. It's cleared at the front post and cleared away again, only as far as Fataggio. Fataggio rather spectacularly launched one left to Forsyth. He gets it back. Now forward to Powell, who's onside. Should get something out of this, Callum Powell. He clears it in, but headed away only as far as Isaacson. Isaacson to Fataggio. Fataggio to Callum Powell. Callum Powell crosses one in now, puts a decent ball in. It's just missed by Forsyth and struck by Fataggio really well, but into the hands of Billy Johnson, who collapses to his right and falls on the ball. A really well struck shot from Ish Fataggio, but equal to it was Billy Johnson, and he bowls to his left. The referee has called time. I make that 15 seconds early. But there we are. Poppies are 1-0 down at half-time. It was Ronnie Blois who scored with, to be fair, probably Leiston's only opportunity of the game. There was a bit of, let's say, controversy as Eddie Panther, from where I was sitting anyway, looked like he was elbowed in the head, but off the ball by the centre half. The referee spoke to his assistant referee, and it ended up with Eddie Panther being booked incredulously. It'd be interesting to see that one again, or maybe get some testimony from people behind the goal as to what that one was. Since the goal, though, the Poppies have done really rather well, although a few misplaced passes here and there. They have stung the hands of Billy Johnson a couple of times. Alfie Lewis with the best opportunity. He was through on goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and blazed the ball over the bar from close range, which will frustrate Liam McDonald because he will feel, and I think rightly so, that his team have done enough to at least be level at half-time, Gary.
Yeah, I'd agree with that entirely, Ed. We'll take the positive that we finished much the stronger side in terms of possession and in terms of chances created. But as I say, when you get one of those gilt-edged chances, you really do have to take it if you expect to get anything out of a game of football. So we'll take a break now, and we'll be back shortly, and hopefully come back with a good news story in the second half.
Welcome back to Poppies TV Audio. The players are back out onto the pitch and we're ready to kick off the second half. We've had some discussions at half time about the events of the first half. The consensus is that yes, the Leiston defender swung an elbow at Eddie Panther, although there are questions as to the extent of contact with Eddie Panther. So it would determine then that the referee has booked Panther likely for simulation. Personally, I believe that swinging an elbow at someone, regardless of contact, remains violent conduct on a football pitch. But there we are. That is the latest that we have from people who were slightly closer to it than we were. Referee is just checking, and we are about to come underway for the second half. And there we go. Leiston get us underway. They are leading here at the Flannery. And it was Ronnie Blois who got the goal. Here they come on the attack, though. Cut out well by Kettering. Fatajo beats one but can't beat two. And Kettering will want a fast start to this second half to get back into the game early on. Well done by Ando, who's been excellent so far today. At the back, flicked on by Panther. No, he doesn't in fact win the header, but he does win a throw-in on the halfway line. Rowe wanted to take it quickly long. He realised he has no option and has then stolen about 20 yards down the touchline. Headed away by Leiston and up and away. And they will get a throw-in off the head of Levy Ando. Alfie Lewis with a glorious opportunity just before half-time to bring the scores level. Blazed over the bar when it looked for all the world that he was going to slot it into the back of the net. Throw in for Leiston in front of Liam McDonald. I wonder what his half-time team talk consisted of as Leiston try and attack down the left-hand side. They're kicking from left to right as we look. Lofted into the penalty area, cleared away by Lewis. Panther holds the ball up, back to Lewis, and Lewis tries a long ball forward for Powell. Powell is being manhandled. Referee says it's a coming together, and Leiston bring the ball away in the centre of the park to Clemens, who was booked as well in that first half. Panther, it has to be said, also booked. Good interception by Isaacson, who's bursting down the left-hand side. He has Clemens in tow. Isaacson plays it in the middle to Panther. Panther brings it under control. Well, it's clipped. It will be a penalty. It was inside the penalty area. Leiston are furious, but Eddie Panther turned his man well. He was definitely clipped by the defence of Leiston. Whether it was in the penalty area or not is currently the discussion being had. Leiston are not happy with the decision, but the referee pointed to the spot. Yep. He did take a long time to think about it, though, didn't he?
He gave himself thinking time, and for a horrible moment, I thought he was going to reach for a second yellow card for Panther for a second simulation, but there was definitely contact. Not a lot of contact, but when you're running like Eddie Panther does, it doesn't take too much trouble to bring you down. And
Will
Poppies
Glennon taking this penalty for the Poppies.
It's going to be Will Glennon. A second gilt-edged opportunity. We can't spurn this one. Come on, Will.
So right-footed it will be. The red hair of Will Glennon waiting to take this penalty. Billy Johnson in goal against him. Glennon steps up, right-footed, slams it down the middle of the goal. Billy Johnson dives to his left, but Glennon smashed it down the middle. High risk, high reward strategy by the Kettering defender. He brings the teams back level early on in the second half, and we said that Kettering wanted a quick start to the second half and get level early, and they've done just that, Gary.
Yeah, they've done exactly what we ordered them to. They've carried on the momentum from the end of the first half on the attack, and this time we've been given a very, very good opportunity to level, and this time we've taken it. So 1-1, all to play for.
Yep, and a long time in the second half for a lot of football to be played. Leiston have a throw-in just in front of Liam McDonald, who's slightly happier than he was about 30 seconds ago. Well, Andy Thanodge has been gifted the goal. It most certainly wasn't, given the fact that he's not ginger. There's Fataggio to Ando, who doesn't quite get there, and Leiston bring the ball away and have it with their back line under pressure from Eddie Panther, who's closing down well. Kettering putting some pressure on this back line of Leiston now, who are dealing with it relatively well, and in fact have bought themselves some breathing space. Still with their back line, though, not a lot of forward passes going here. Now they will look forward. Here's Rangel. Rangel back to back line again, who again are just deciding to play the ball around. They're not really looking forward that much, as I utilise the very helpful lights that we have in here, as Gary doesn't work. But still, you're missing nothing much on the pitch. I mean, Leiston are just very happy to play basically backwards and forwards between their midfield and defenders. Leiston again going back to their back line again. It's either patience or a lack of creativity at the moment from Leiston. They've had a lot of possession. I mean, I dread to think quite how many passes there have been in this spell. Here they come trying to go forward now with a bit of impetus. Good tackle by Thanod. And here's Fataggio. Fataggio plays down the line looking for the run of Blaine Rowe. He won't get there. The ball goes back to Johnson. And there's going to be a foul, as Blaine Rowe is adjudged to have fouled Seb Dunbar as he went to burst through on goal. Free kick for Billy Johnson to take, who was beaten just moments ago for that penalty by Will Glennon. Interesting to see the thought process behind Will Glennon taking it, given the players on the pitch, but he did well. Here he is now, heads the ball away. Fataggio brings it down, but won't keep possession of it. And in fact, will give away a throw-in halfway inside the Poppies half on the left-hand side. Looks like it might be a long throw-in coming in. It's Mills with the ball in his hands. In fact, everyone's going forward from Leiston bar Billy Johnson. Dunbar comes back now to provide some sort of defensive cover. In comes the throw-in then, launched in, and it is launched in as well. Ando heads away, lofted back into the penalty area, but tamely.
Go.
Alexander kicks long. Panther loses the header, but wins a throw-in off the head of Dunbar, left-hand side. Here's Isaacson. Isaacson lofts forward looking for Panther. Panther to Callum Powell. Referee waves his finger at Callum Powell as he went down looking for a free kick. And play continues. Headed away by Forsyth and then Thanod. Flicked on by Lewis, but there's no one in red waiting to receive it, and Leiston will come forward again. Again, they fall into that pattern of just slowing the play down. Then they try and burst forward with pace, cut out by Rowe. Rowe to Ando, who then kicks long again. Heavy fall by Panther trying to win that one. The referee again says nothing untoward. And back to Billy Johnson we go, who kicks long again. Up by Glennon and then away by Thanod. Leiston come with it on the left-hand side. Blaine Rowe bursting forward centrally, finds Panther. Panther over to Isaacson, who's just run a little bit further wide than he wanted to. Has to turn back, goes into the middle to Lewis. Lewis now, with time and space, goes back out to Isaacson. Isaacson's been faced up by two. He puts an early cross in, cleared away easily by Leiston. Here's Glennon. Glennon may go back to Alexander. He does. Alexander's under pressure, but clears long before anyone can get anywhere close to him. That's an absolutely horrendous. That's going to be a head injury, I think. The number 4, Callan McFadden. I mean, he jumped well, but he jumped right into the back of the Poppies player. Who is that down over there? Is it Alfie Lewis? I think it might be Alfie Lewis, who caught one on the back of the head. I think it is Alfie Lewis who's down. Michael Hunter straight on. being told. Of course, Glennon did take the last penalty. Yes, well remembered in our comment section there. So it's maybe sort of becoming. He does take a lot of free kicks, Will Glennon, as well, doesn't he, from more central areas? So set piece taker from these positions he is becoming.
Yeah, indeed. I think actually it's Blaine Rowe that's down. I can't see him down there. I can see Alfie Lewis.
Alfie Lewis is there. You are right. It is Blaine Rowe.
It's Blaine Rowe who took the blow to the back of the head. Michael Turner, he's been a busy man, hasn't he, this afternoon?
Been very busy. I mean, it's cold, so he's, allowed to run on and come back quite a lot. But yeah, it's the third or fourth time he's now been on the pitch so far. Yet to see the Leiston physio in action, and
couple of head injuries. We had Forsyth in the first half as well, who required the magic sponge.
Did that was at the hands of Jason Alexander, though, that one.
Well, yes.
So that was more sort of, as you said, it's friendly fire, that one. Blaine Rowe's up, and a handshake with Callan McFadden, who didn't mean anything by it. He just out-jumped Blaine Rowe, and his momentum took him into the back of him. But Rowe is up and jogs off. No one being readied on either bench at the moment. It's going to be a drop ball in Leiston's favour, as they were in possession when the game was stopped. Still not taken. Don't know what the referee is waiting for here. There we go. Ball drop now. And Leiston play to Jackson. Blaine Rowe's waved back on. And that may be a foul by Powell. It is a foul. And Leiston want to take that one quickly. Stopped by Fataggio. So they will take the opportunity, I think, to launch this one into the penalty area. It's right in front of the dugouts, or the Kettering dugout, I should say. And certainly set up as though this one is going to be swung into the penalty area. Big centre halves from the back have gone up. Left-footed, it is launched in. Alexander calls early, calls well, and collects well, and kicks us long, looking for Panther. Panther does bring it under control, is doing well down the left-hand side. He's left the number 15 for dead. Left-hand side still going, Eddie Panther. Eddie Panther towards the byline, lofts it across. Oh, he puts it low, in fact, and Billy Johnson saved well at his near post with an outstretched right boot. But defence to attack in, about 5.5 seconds?
Yeah, good release from Alexander, and that's what Eddie Panther's about, using his pace to burn off the number 15, Frostick. And Billy Johnson had to be on his toes, literally, to kick it out for Poppies corner.
He melted there like Frostick the snowman, but here's the the corner, and it comes headed away far too easily. But he'll have another chance for Fataggio to put this one in. Puts it in this time. Better ball in. Ando! Oh, what a save, Billy Johnson! Levi Ando nearly got yet another goal, and Billy Johnson has pulled out an unbelievable save. Foul there. Referee says play advantage. Ball put in, and Johnson puts another one behind. Another good save by Billy Johnson. That save from the header from Ando was absolutely outstanding.
It was. We know he's capable of a few moments on the ball and giving chances away, but we also know he's quite, can do quality saves, and that was top drawer, I have to say.
Well, it looked in all the way until that outstretched glove. In comes the corner, headed down by Forsyth, and Ando there again. Up and away. Ando tries to get there again, cleared this time by Leiston, only as far as Alfie Lewis, who sprays out wide right to Fataggio, who took the corner. Fataggio now onto his left foot, lofts one in towards the back post. Panther's there, takes a touch, heavy touch. Poor from Eddie Panther, that one. And Leiston will come away, but no, they don't, because here's Thanodge. Thanodge out to Isaacson. Isaacson down towards the byline. Good challenge. In fact, he's adjudged to have fouled the Leiston man.
Did see that one.
Not sure that one, but it relieves all the pressure, and all the plaudits for Leiston will be to Billy Johnson, because that was an incredible save from him. And Levi Ando, I'm sure, when he headed it, was convinced that he'd got another goal for the Poppies.
Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it? He rose so well to get a clean header on it, and it was heading towards the top corner, and you thought it was in, but There we go. Billy Johnson had other ideas, paws it away, but Kettering continuing their good play, fairly dominant in this second half as they were towards the end of the first half. So certainly going for the win.
Yeah, Leiston, of course, above the Poppies in the table. And when they were winning, they were just, in fact, two points outside the playoff places. That will, of course, be dropped to 4 points outside. They're having a good season, the Blues. Here's Johnson, kicks long, headed forward by Rowe, only to a blue shirt. And that back pass is a bit short. Panther couldn't quite get there. Neither could with a really good challenge, crunching challenge by the Leiston man, fairly on Thanodge, and away they come on the right-hand side. Chance to go forward by Fraser Alexander in the middle now to Clemens. Clemens switches the play, cut out by Blaine Rowe, but he can't keep the ball and will foul the Leiston man, which he did. And he's got to be careful not to get himself in the book, and he has done too much, and he will be in the book as he tried to prevent that free kick from being taken quickly.
Yeah, silly. That was the referee's always going to be reaching for his card for not retreating like that from a free kick. So Blaine Rowe joins Eddie Panther in the naughty boys list as far as the referee's concerned. But it also gives Leiston an opportunity halfway in the Poppies half to, well, they won't get creative. They're just going to launch this one in. Both centre halves, Callum McFadden, Eddie Jackson have both gone forward again. Poppies trying to hold the line on the edge of their box.
So Mills then, left-footed, again will be putting this one into the penalty area. The last one was easily collected by Jay Alexander. That one is going to be easily collected by Jay Alexander again, and this is where the last chance came from. He goes quickly. This one should be more easily dealt with by Leiston. It is. And in fact, not only is it easily dealt with, they might try a counter-attack here. Isaacson gets in the way, and we're relying on the referee's hand signals here because I can't see what's going on. He's giving us nothing. Throw in Kettering's way.
Yep, just shepherded it out.
So throw in yet to be taken by Isaacson. Again, it's just in that slight little blind spot to our right. And it comes, headed backwards by the number 8 for Leiston, then forwards again. And Isaacson brings the ball down and clips it long, but not long enough. Chance for a sustained bit of pressure here from the hosts. Still going, good interplay from them. And there's a chance now for Rangel. He plays a switched ball. It's poor. Don't even really think he needed to do it. He played it behind Ben Folkes. I think he was just trying to be a bit too clever there, Rangel. Kettering take the throw in quickly. And down the line it goes towards Callum Powell, who's got... I didn't see Alfie Lewis in acres of space at the back post. Powell still twisting and turning on the edge of the box. He'll win a throw-in. Just wonder whether that could have been a little bit more from Callum Powell. He got himself sort of all tangled up a little bit on the edge of the penalty area. But a long throw it will be, and Blaine Rowe will take it. Forward goes Glennon, Forsyth, Ando, Isaacson. Although Leiston high risk, leaving 2 players forward, means that Fatajo has to come back and do some defensive work. Rowe lofts one in, flicked on by Isaacson, headed away, and then hoofed away by Leiston, away from danger for a throw-in on the halfway line by the Poppies. 62, nearly 63 minutes gone here. Late kickoff, of course, for that sock clash. Leiston took the lead in the first half through a header from Ronnie Blois. Poppies equalised just after half-time, a penalty well struck by Will Glennon. Long throw taken by Ando down the line, headed away and further by Leiston, picked up in the middle by Lewis, who plays it to the left-hand side where Forsyth is. He goes further left still to Isaacson. Down the line, he clips it. Powell is there, finds Isaacson, who barrels forward. Kettering want something. They're not going to get anything, and Leiston keep the ball and clear it as well. Although, playing it along their back line, Panther was interested in that one. They've just about got away with it and done very well to relieve that pressure and come on the counter-attack on the left. But again, just starting to play themselves into a little bit of bother with a few under-hit passes. They calm things down now, and it's with Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson over the halfway line now. He goes to Blois, the Leiston goal scorer, but back to Jackson in his own half. Leiston not interested in going forward needlessly. They do try and find gaps, and they found the gap there, and Rangel still going, and Isaacson will be booked. That is a cynical foul. He realised that Rangel had got the better of him, stepped across, clipped him, and took a tactical foul.
Yeah, easy decision. Third booking for the Poppies. Rangel making a nuisance of himself. Isaac wasn't going to have it, but it was definitely a foul. It was definitely a yellow card. And it'll be a free kick on this near side, halfway in the Poppies half. I don't want to tempt fate, but so far they've been putting most of the free kicks right onto Jason Alexander's head.
This half, those free kicks have all been taken over the other side by Adam Mills.
That's
the first
true.
one we see this half from João Rangel. Also a fantastic name, it has to be said. But here is Rangel. That's not going towards Jason Alexander, but it is headed away well by Isaacson, who gave away that free kick. Poppies clear long. Panther tries to chest it on to Powell, who can't quite get it under. Panther falls over his own feet and couldn't bring it under control. A little bit scrappy, that, from everyone involved. Good work by Fataggio putting some pressure on. And in fact, yeah, Rangel, he's done himself a disservice there, because Kettering were claiming for a throw-in, and Rangel sort of stopped and sort of confirmed to the referee that it had gone out of play. Forsyth clips forward, falls to Fataggio, who can't quite find Powell, and again Leiston go into this sort of playing it round slowly towards the back. Now it's playing good football, though. They're playing really good football, and forward they come. That lofted ball is cut out by Rowe. Ando comes across to help. Clears that down the line, and Fataggio is the man there in red and black to find it. Put forward, good football, when Powell is caught late in the face, and it's a head injury, but Kettering won't want the game to stop. It should technically be stopped because it's a head injury, regardless of it. The referee's not interested, and Kettering will get... No, they will give the ball out for a goal kick after poor end play there. But Powell is still down, rubbing his face.
Yeah, he just got caught. He released the ball as the challenge was made. I don't think there was anything malicious about that one, but Powell definitely got caught on the side of his face. But the referees indicated at least that Michael Turner is not required this time. Sorry?
Michael Turner?
Did I?
Who's that?
Well, he's obviously Michael Hunter's twin brother.
What, with a different surname?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Right, I've got you.
They were separated at birth.
Oh, I've got you. Right.
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah,
you.
we
now.
went to different families.
Always difficult when that happens.
It is. It makes it very difficult.
Anyway, goal kick for Leiston. Long, good goal kick actually from Johnson. There's a Leiston player down, but they attack down the left-hand side. They now don't want the game to stop for what looks like a head injury. That's a foul on Blaine Rowe, who does a little bit of a hop, skip and a jump, as if to say he got caught on the back of his heel. The Leiston man is down, but maybe Michael Turner is the physio for Leiston, but he's not being called on either this time. And the Poppies will have a free kick right down by their own corner flag. And we'll just wait whilst Clemens is back up and shakes off whatever knock he had.
Yeah, we're halfway through the second half now, and this game is still up for grabs. Leiston have come back into the play. I think it's fair to say over the last 5 minutes, it's a little bit more even, Stephen. But, the game is still there to be won as far as both teams are concerned.
Powell looking to get on this. He does. He lofts it forward to Panther, who can only help the ball on to Billy Johnson's feet. He then decides to kick long again. Should be Glennon's. It is. He wins it well, but the second ball is fallen on by the hosts. Left-hand side, cut out by Rowe. Rowe continues it down the line, but only out of play for a throw-in, which is taken quickly backwards by Leiston, and they go across their back line to Jackson. all the way to Billy Johnson. He goes left, under pressure from Powell. He does get something on it, but it's calmed by the defence of Leiston, and they get away with that one. And again, they get away with it, and they've broken the press by Kettering and have a chance to break on the other side. It's unfortunate, or it's good play, whichever way you're looking at it. Here come Leiston. They've worked it back over to the left-hand side in an advanced position. Left-footed down the line it goes. Should be right-footed crossing it in, or he may shoot. No, he plays it to the edge of the box. Here's Rangel. Rangel takes a step over, gets a half a yard. Oh, plays it to Mills. He should have shot Rangel. And Mills was on a different wavelength and Kettering clear, but not far enough. Here's Jackson. Jackson bursting down the right-hand side, plays it in the middle to Clemens. Clemens now out to Mills, who stayed on this right-hand side, left-footed, lofts one in towards the back post, headed away by Ando, and then thumped away by Will Glennon. But this spell of Leiston pressure is continuing on the left-hand side. Kettering have managed to force the hosts back to the halfway line, but forward they come again. This football is incredible from Leiston. One touch and then the last pass lets them down yet again as it goes through to Alexander. That's really good football from the hosts.
It is a momentum shifted, and it doesn't surprise me that Kettering are about to make a substitution or two. I can see Malk with the list of players, and I think we'll be making changes in the next minute or two. But as it stands, we've got another injury.
Yeah, it's Panther. He's gone down holding his head again this time. That one was less conspicuous than the first one. But on comes Michael Hunter, famously brother of Michael Turner.
Yeah.
And this may give the opportunity for the Poppies bench to make those substitutions. Now, who is coming on? It looks like it might be Preston Bitmo at the very least make an appearance. He, of course, is an attacking midfielder, but has been utilised at right back by a lot of times this season. So depending on who comes off will depend on what we do in this game. Is there anyone else? There does look like there's another player getting stripped and ready. I can't quite see who it is from here. Is it Fifield? It could be Fitzhugh, actually.
Yeah, it's Fitzhugh.
It is Ethan Fitzhugh, who I think has done very well this season when he's come on in games.
I would agree with that.
I think he might very well soon be knocking on the door of Liam McDonald and saying, am I maybe going to be starting one of these games?
Yep, I think that's a good shout.
Ball's back underway again. Drop ball to Leiston, who play it across their back line left. All the way over it goes. And it will come all the way back over to the right again. Panther, incidentally, is back on the pitch. No substitutions made just yet. Oh, Johnson got a bobbly one back. He's done well with it, but it allows Kettering to keep the ball. Panther to Powell. Powell, good turn from him. Very good turn. And then has to turn back again and keeps the ball to Lewis. Lewis slams one out to Isaacson, who does well given the power on the pass. Kettering being forced back. Forsyth now forward to Lewis. Lewis clips one, trying to find the gap in the run of Panther. Foul by Panther, who's got to be very, very careful. Handshakes all round. Didn't look a lot in it, but accumulation, and the referee, I think, is making that point clear to him, that the accumulation of fouls, he's got to be careful. He's already on a booking, Eddie Panther, whether you agree whether it was a booking or not. But here come the substitutions anyway for the Poppies. It looks like Fatajo is coming off for Preston Bitmo. That looks like it should be a straight swap, really.
Like for like, I'd agree with that.
And it looks like Ethan Fitzhugh, but who will Fitzhugh be coming on for?
You'd think it's another midfielder, wouldn't you?
Yeah, or maybe even Panther, and we changed that about because Fitzhugh is more of a wide midfielder, and it may even it's going to be Callum Powell who comes off for Fitzhugh.
Okay, so it's going to be interesting whether Fitzhugh's going to be asked to play a little bit more as a centre forward. It's the only thing.
Yeah, the difficulty is the inflexibility maybe with this back line. But I mean, are we going to maybe move to a 4 at the back, push Forsyth alongside Thanodge in the middle?
Doesn't look like it.
Bitmo and Fitzhugh and Lewis across the. No, it doesn't look like it as they're set up. So it's going to be fairly like for like as well, with Fitzhugh being asked to play effectively centre forward alongside Panther. Ball in the middle of the park for Leiston, now left-sided. That's going to be overhit, is it? Blaine Rowe looks interested in it. In fact, he lets it roll out for a throw-in eventually. Just over 15 to go. You're listening to Poppies TV, sponsored by Elgood's Brewery. 1-1. It was Ronnie Blois who scored in the first half for Leiston, and then Will Glennon scoring a penalty for the Poppies just after the half-time break. Lewis gives that ball away, mopped up by Glennon, looking for Panther. Panther, good touch. He is being absolutely manhandled by the defender, and that time you can understand Panther's frustration because he's all over him, the centre half. Oh dear, and this is bad for Zhao Rangel.
His hamstring's gone.
Yeah, completely
Left hamstring.
off.
Yeah.
Well, not off the ball because he had the ball at his feet, but there was no contact in it. He just went straight down.
It's either hamstring or it's cramp, but whatever. We do get to see the Leiston physio, and he's out to treat Rangel. Just under 15 minutes to go. And it's all got very even, shall we say, in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Referee just having a word with Eddie Panther. Eddie Panther sort of making his case there and saying, look, I was being held, I was being grappled with, he was tugging my shirt, all of which was completely true. The referee explaining why he didn't think that met the threshold for a foul, which was incorrect, but there we go. We're just going to wait and see now whether Yao Rangel is going to be able to continue or not.
I would imagine the way that he went down, unless it is cramp, which we all know can come on fairly quickly. There doesn't seem to be anyone stripped off, although now I see a jumper being taken off and a blue shirt being put on.
Yeah.
On the bench. I think that might be Zhao Rangel's game
over,
over, which is a shame for him because he's had a very good game, really.
Yeah, he's looked decent, and yeah, we get the
there's no doubt at all what the physio was signalling for there, was there?
I was going to say, it's one of these things. I don't know where this started with the physios indicating that this, substitution. It's this rolling forward with the hands has become the universal signalling now for a substitution to be made, and that's exactly what's going to be happening.
7
here.
for 12, so it's Cameron Rayworth coming on.
Rayworth
for Leiston. And Zhao Rangel, unfortunately, has picked up his injury about as far away from the tunnel as you possibly could. So he has to make his way all the way around the outside of the pitch, and that's not going to be comfortable for him, I'd imagine. Isaacson gets us back underway with a throw-in, but it will be thrown all the way to Billy Johnson, uncontested, who doesn't mess about, lumps that one forward quickly. Glennon wins the header well. Bitmo wins the flick on. Ethan Fitzhugh and Panther getting a little bit of a tangle between themselves, and there's pressure on the back line of Leiston and the goalkeeper Billy Johnson, who thuds that one forward. Kettering think he's offside, still playing on, still going on. Oh dearie me, penalty. Free kick for Leiston. It was a brilliant smash forward from Billy Johnson. Leiston are furious. Leiston believes this was in the penalty area. And I have to say, my initial thought, as you could tell by the call, was that he was in the penalty area.
Well, it's difficult to tell. We're at sort of pitch level as to where it was. The referee had the best view. There's no doubt about that. But unfortunately,
this is Rowe. It's his second yellow card.
It's second yellow for Blaine Rowe. So we might have escaped the penalty, but we haven't escaped the red card, and we are down to 10 men.
Yeah, Kettering will be perturbed because they believe that the Leiston man was offside. The flag didn't go up. Rowe mistimed his challenge. He did enough to make sure it wasn't in the penalty area, although Leiston will be arguing that by a lot. But it is a yellow card, and the Poppies are down to 10 men. And it is Blaine Rowe who gets his first red card of his Kettering career for 2 bookable offences. And it will be a free kick on the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side of it, for Leiston. A really good opportunity. It's wide enough that that wall will be across and the goalkeeper will be over the other side of the goal. It's far enough out that you could probably get enough dip on it because of the angle. Jason Alexander will have to be at his very best here if Leiston can get this one on target. Still organising his wall, Alexander, and the referee is not happy with the fact the wall is taking so long to retreat to the 10-yard mark. There it is now. And there's a chance here for Leiston to grab a goal with 10 minutes to go. Yet to see who's over it. I mean, Mills is left-footed. You would say Rangel would be on it, but he's gone off injured.
Yeah, the annoying thing is, Ed, the referee's so fixated on the wall, he hasn't noticed
The ball has crept forward.
Yes, well, not necessarily crept forward. It's crept more to the right, so it's just opening up that angle a little bit better each time that they do that. Now, whether the referee is now going to be told,
Oh, he has.
yeah, he has. Yeah.
No,
He's obviously got eyes in the back of his head.
Yes.
Well done, ref. Yeah, he's just
Or he at
moved.
least made a mental note of where the ball was when he walked away.
Well, yeah, but he hasn't got that silly shaving cream that they use in the Premier League, have they? So
He might have, but he's just not got it with him.
well, perhaps, but whatever. Anyway,
Well.
he's put it back on the correct position. But
Mills looks interested as a left footer. You would say it favours the right, but I mean, Alexander is a long way over in his goal. He's leaving his side open a lot from where that wall is. It is Mills over the wall, over the bar, into the terrace behind it. In fact, it took a deflection on its way.
It took a deflection off the wall.
Oh, well set up then by Jason.
Yes, obviously the wall did its job, so all's well that ends well in that respect. But we've got another 10 minutes plus stoppage time to see the game out, down to 10 men. So, we could still win the game with 10 men, but obviously Leiston will be more hopeful than us.
Definitely, and it comes back as well. In fact, we'll let this corner come in first. In comes the corner. Oh, it's bounced across everyone, and it is in. It's 2-1, and who is it at the back post? It's Clemens. Clemens who's put it in at the back post. It was not dealt with as the ball came in low. It was allowed to bounce in the penalty area, and 10-man Kettering Town have got to find another equaliser within 10 minutes, or they will be leaving Leiston with 0 points.
Yep. And unfortunately, it just was poorly defended again. Well, we saw it in the first half where they get a half chance from a cross and it's not dealt with. And exactly the same happened there with the corner. It wasn't dealt with. The ball was allowed to bounce. And it's the Leiston man, Clemens, who gets the finish. And Poppies now have it all to do.
But what I was about to say before that corner went in is actually that Blaine Rowe red card. You said it at the time. That first yellow card was so needless, where he stood on the ball, didn't allow the free kick to be taken quickly, refused to retreat.
It comes back to bite
and
you.
It comes back to bite you. He shouldn't have been on a yellow card because because of his own stupidity. As Isaacson forgets that we're playing with size 5 footballs and puts his foot straight over the top of that one and out for a Leiston throw-in, which is poor because that was pretty much straight from kickoff. Throw-in down the line, and Leiston will be grabbing every single second they can of this to grab another 3 points at home at the Flannery. We have 7+ added to go. I don't know if there will be a lot of added. There's been a lot of stoppages in this second half. There'll be a long throw-in for Leiston on this near side, on the right-hand side of their attack. In it comes. Away by Glennon, they want handball, never getting it. Back out to Mills, who took the throw-in, onto his left foot, and then slams one towards the back post. Ando heads away and cleared away further by Bitmo, who's bursting forward, looking to try and find something. A great ball to Eddie Panther. Really good ball to Eddie Panther, and it's good defending. Really good defending by the back line. It's actually the captain, Seb Dunbar, because if he doesn't get there, then Panther is one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and Ando is furious that he's been penalised for a yellow card there. Oh, sorry, for a free kick there. It didn't look like a free kick. It looked like he'd tackled well. And now Bitmo is being spoken to by the referee because I imagine he gave his disgust at that decision to Mr. Ship.
Yeah, you have to say, though, it was very good defending by Seb Dunbar. He's looked a quality player for them, a left-back and captain. And did well to mop up. It's never easy against Eddie Panther. We know what a live wire he is, but Dunbar did well then. Ball's pumped forward by Johnson towards the end of the Kettering area, and Glennon's under pressure here. The ball comes back in. It's ricocheting around in the Poppies penalty box. The shot comes in, and somehow it's gone for a corner. It was deflected, I think, wide.
Glennon, I think it was, who got
Glennon,
across to deflect that one wide. It could have gone anywhere, that deflection. And Alexander was really worried as he looked up and saw it mercifully go past his post, but it is going to be a corner, and they've scored from this side just a few moments ago. The corner, they shouldn't be taking this short, not after the havoc they caused on the last one, and they're not going to. In it comes. It's another decent corner. It's a free header over the bar. A free header by, I'm not sure who it is who headed it. I can see the player, but I can't see his number. I think it might be the substitute, actually. The number 12, Cameron Rayworth. Free header, headers it over the bar. If you're Leiston's manager, you're looking at 3-1 and game over, aren't you?
Absolutely. We can't afford to concede another goal in this game if we're going to get anything out of it whatsoever. But again, another worrying position, a cross or a corner, and at times we look all at sea.
Ando clears long. That stayed in play, much to the disgust of the Leiston back line, who have their foot on the ball again, though. They clear long. Something I don't think they really need to be doing under no pressure, Leiston, and that may be a little bit of nerves coming into the into play. It looks like Kettering are going to make another substitution, but as yet they're not going to, because Leiston counter-attack on the left-hand side. Ball towards the byline. They'll get another corner, and it'll be on the other side this time for Leiston. Kettering are ready to make the substitution, but they won't make it, I'd imagine, until this corner has come in, and you would imagine it will be a centre-half coming off to allow an attacking player like Fifield to come on and try and push for an equaliser. But with 10 men on the pitch, it's never a gimme. So, corner to come in. What's the delay here? Oh, apparently, well, Leiston are going to want to keep it in the corner. That's very early. Still 4 plus added to go. And they've got a throw in. Will Kettering make the substitution now? No, they won't. It looks like it's actually going to be a double substitution. Could it be Wes York coming on as well? Yeah, it is. In fact, Fifield and Thanos will be coming on. It's not taken yet because, sorry, not made yet because the throw in has been taken down by that corner flag. Lots of pushing and shoving. Ball still in play. Still bearing down on goal. Shot is wild, really wild from the Leiston man. Didn't see who it was, but should be troubling the goalkeeper there. A let off, but here come the substitutions. Thanodge for Fifield is the first one. So that will definitely be a change of formation. Wes York is going to be the other one, but who is he going to be off on for? We're yet to find out. Malk's still wrestling with the disco board. Eddie Panther. He is on a booking, Eddie Panther, and he has been riding his luck for the second half and hasn't had much luck with the ball. So there we go. Goodness knows the formation Kettering are playing at the moment. Still looks like it's going to be 3 at the back, but I imagine those fullbacks are going to be very much attacking players. Although Kettering need to get their foot on the ball to do some attacking. Isaacson right in front of us has won a throw in. Down the line he goes, looking for York, who's just come on. Where's York? twists and turns. Down the left-hand side he goes towards the corner flag. Still Wes York. He loses the ball, does he? I don't know. We don't know what's going on. It's going to be a throw in. It's going to be Ketterin's way. Chance to launch this one in. Blaine Rowe not on the pitch. You'd imagine Ben Isaacson is going to take it. It's been taken quickly, and it's Kettering have got a corner from it. Leiston furious. Not sure exactly what happened there, but it is a corner for the Poppies. Now, who is taking it? I can't really see. Fitzhugh's over there. Fitzhugh, I think, is taking it left-footed. I think it is, yes. So corner comes in, headed away and too easily by Mills. And a counter-attack for Leiston if they want it. No, they don't. Good covering by Fitzhugh, who comes back. Bitmo to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh twists and turns and barrels his way past a couple of players, but can't get past Clemens. And Clemens, in fact, is going to come forward. Fitzhugh is down holding his face, but the referee's allowing game to continue. Here comes Clemens down the right-hand side to finish it off towards the back post. Brought down. Chance now put in low and deflected. And well, good goalkeeping from Alexander. Needed to get it right, else it was going to be a penalty. But the game is going to be stopped because there is a player down for Kettering again here. And if Mr. Hunter's wearing a smartwatch, it's about telling him that he needs to calm down a little bit because he's on yet again, Michael Hunter.
Yeah, he's definitely hit his 10,000 steps today.
Well, who is that? It's Alfie Lewis, that one is. Down with a problem with his leg, right leg. We have made it across the 90 minutes. And have we had a board go up? I'm not sure.
Not yet.
No.
No, we're not seeing the board yet.
As it is, Lewis is still down. There is a board coming up. It's going to be for Kettering, though. And Lewis Coyle, who has been injured for a while, is going to be coming on.
Yeah.
And we know it's Lewis Coyle because there's no other subs to make.
No, and it's Isaacson down, which makes sense for the change. Yeah.
That's twice I've attributed an injury to Alfie Lewis and he hasn't got one. So I only apologise to the young man. But Isaacson is off and he's hobbling quite gingerly on that right leg at the moment. But Coyle comes on. Not sure what the delay is here. I mean, Coyle is stripped off and ready. Board is up. Coyle for Isaacson, as we know. And, well, your guess is as good as mine as to how long is left in this game. It's going to be a drop. Oh, no, that's the man of the match announcement. We should probably be thinking about our man of the match.
Yes,
Mr. Foreman.
Certainly, Mr. Cook's been badgering me already, actually, but it's a difficult decision to make, I think, isn't it? That's why I've been a bit reticent.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. The ball's back into play. Fifield heads it on, cleared away only as far as Bitmo. Bitmo forward. Bit of a mix up in the back line of Leiston there, and Kettering have a throw in deep inside by the corner flag. No Isaacson, no Rowe in terms of long throwers, though, which will be the issue. I think, can't see who that is who's picked the ball up. Is it Coyle? It might be. He's taken it short. He gets it back. Now out to Lewis. Lewis puts one in low. Flicked on, cleared away. Oh, and a really good turn. And there should be a counter-attack. It's 2-on-1 in favour for Leiston. He's through on goal. It's 1-on-1. It should be the end of the game now. It is. Leiston win a scything counter-attack. Ben Folkes it is who puts the final nail in the coffin of this game. Into injury time. The Poppies had a half chance at one end. It was a blistering counter-attack. Preston Bitmo was all by himself defending. He did all he could do, but it was slipped through to Ben Folkes, who was 1-on-1 with Jason Alexander and made absolutely no mistake about it. Slotted it past the Kettering stopper and puts this game squarely to bed.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. You can't blame the Poppies in respect of committing, as it turned out, over committing forward, obviously so late in the game, around the Leiston penalty box. But when the ball did break, Leiston broke quickly. It soon became a 2-against-1, and Folkes made no mistake. 3-1. And it's going to be another disappointing away trip, I'm afraid, for the Poppies.
Yeah, and the Poppies will, of course, try and nick a goal, but I think that's all eyes are going to be on next week. Now, of course, it's quite a significant one next week. Not only is it, of course, Old Church at home, but it is. Oh well, I have to stop here because Mills is through 1-on-1. It could be even worse. He's tried to lob Jason Alexander, which is the one thing you don't do against Jason Alexander. He's 6'7". Mills should have made this 4-1, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. And he tried to be too cute and too clever. And Alexander saves well, stands up well, and says no, thank you very much. As Kettering try and mount something of an attack, although yet again they've been out-muscled on that account. And that ball will find its way to Alexander. Yes, of course, next week at home to Old Church is the celebration day, the 50th anniversary of when football shirts had sponsors on them. The Kettering Tyres shirt. There'll be an anniversary shirt being worn and all sorts of festivities. So don't miss that one. But of course, the main point of that game will be the Poppies looking to get 3 points and get 2026 off to a better start. It has not got off to a good start for Kettering, and the first game of the year postponed. The second game is a crushing 3-1 defeat away to Leiston, who continue their good vein of form. The Poppies continue their inconsistency for the season and find themselves well within the bottom half of the table. Play still going on, although it has now become pretty much a formality until the final whistle goes. Shot comes in, saved well by Alexander. Corner it will be for Leiston. Man of the match then. It's just suddenly become even more difficult, hasn't it? Leviando's had a very good game, but he's a defender and we've conceded 3 goals.
Well, we have. Alexander's made some saves, but
he's a defender and we've conceded 3 goals.
I was just about to say, ditto for that. But, you know, has there been a bright spark in midfield? No, there hasn't. Has there been a bright spark up front? No, not really.
Powell had a good game, to be fair to him, and Panther did well with what little he had. And I'm leaning towards Ando.
I'm going to give it to Michael Hunter.
Not Michael Turner, of course.
No.
I think Ando's done well. He pretty much had a goal if it wasn't for the brilliance of Billy Johnson as well. So yeah, I think maybe Leviando, even though I'm aware he's a defender and we have conceded 3 goals, although call it 2 because the third one was difficult to claim anything.
Yeah, like I say, we were committing men forward as you have to do, and the danger is you're going to get caught at the back under pressure like that. And yeah, I'd be more concerned from the Poppy standpoint of their inability to deal with crosses today. And we've seen it a few times this season, it has to be said, and today is no exception.
I mean, for goodness sake, is there any danger of this game finishing at any point? It's a foregone conclusion. I mean, Leiston are attacking again. It could be 4. It should be 4 because it's going to be a penalty. And Leviando's giving it away, so that takes away the man of the match. It's a penalty for Leiston, and all of a sudden
Leviando had reached the stage to collect his award, and then it was snatched away.
It's like that Oscars one the other year where they announced the wrong winner for the film.
Yes,
and I think we may have to reconsider here, and that's now suddenly become very, very difficult. But it's going to be a penalty for Leiston.
It's going to be Seb Dunbar as well, the captain, I think.
No, it's not. It's been left for Folks, who got the decisive 3rd goal. He's going to have a chance to get the even more decisive 4th and end a miserable start to the year for the Poppies. He steps up, orange-booted, against Jason Alexander, who has saved some penalties this season. And he nearly saved another one.
Not quite.
But no. In it goes. And it's 4. And Clemens rather weirdly celebrates into the face of Jason Alexander, who does well not to react. But they are 4-1 up, and they have had a very, very good afternoon. And a long journey, which was made even longer with diversions and road closures, is going to be, it's going to feel like a week travelling back for these Poppies fans.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you it will be quieter on the coach on the way back than it was coming. Players were in good spirits, there was good banter, but unfortunately, today's result's going to take it out of them. It's 4-1. I mean, it's not a 4-1 game. Well, I know it is because it is 4-1, and that's what the records book will say. But game-wise, it was a lot
flattered
closer.
the hosts, hasn't it?
It's flattered the hosts.
2-1 would have been fair. The 3-1 on the break against 10 men when attacking, and then obviously the penalty. But I mean, I'm not overly sure how long we're playing. There we go. The referee eventually calls full time, and the Poppies have been soundly beat here at the Flannery. It's 4-1. The hosts took the lead in the first half with a good header, it has to be said, from Ronnie Blois, before the Poppies got level just after half-time. Will Glennon smashing a penalty into the back of the net. Not long after that, there were a few half chances for Kettering, but never really got going and capitalised on their equaliser. The nail really was done when Blaine Rowe was sent off for a second bookable offence. The free kick was deflected for a corner, and the corner came in, and the second goal for Leiston was scored. With 10 men, the Poppies were pushing forward, and just as we ticked over to 90 minutes, there was a counter-attack for Leiston, who were 2-on-1, who scored easily to make it 3. And right at the end there, as the dying moments went in, Leviando felled his man, gave away a penalty, and 4-1 it was. There will be a lot of thinking to be done. Liam McDonald is not happy with the referee. I'm not overly sure what he's unhappy about, Liam McDonald. He's right in front of us, and there's a lot of gesticulating and head shaking, and he's still talking. He's going to talk himself into a problem here, Liam McDonald, if he's not careful. He's still not happy at all. He walks away, head down and shaking.
Yeah. We'll obviously talk to Liam after the game, so we'll get his thoughts about why whether he's upset with the decision about Eddie Panther in the first half, whether he thought it wasn't a foul by Blaine Rowe, perhaps. I don't know. It looked it from here, but Liam, in fact, Liam's come back again to talk to the referee.
Be so careful, Liam.
Yeah,
there's nothing that the referee's going to be able to do at this point.
If there's one thing I know about Liam, he'll be.
There we go.
Yeah,
in the book he goes.
Yeah,
Liam McDonald.
There's the yellow card for not going
away. He needs to move, because this referee will just pull that one out again and give him another for a red. He looked like he'd conceded the first time, but then he came back.
Yeah,
off he continues to go, Liam McDonald.
Yeah, he's disappointed. I mean, the scoreline, it's a harsh scoreline as far as the Pop is concerned. However, I think we were the authors of our own downfall again. The first yellow card for Blaine Rowe was silly. That came back to haunt him. We've had 2 crosses that have led to goals. Poppy's defence unable to deal with them, and we've seen that before this season. And we certainly do lack a physical presence up front, and that's been no different again today. On the plus side, we've seen them fighting. They're still fighting as a unit, and still putting hard yards in. And we did get ourselves back into the game. We looked the better side when we equalised, but we couldn't go on to get the winner. And Leiston have done exactly that and some more.
Well, that is all from us here at the Flannery. We will see you for the 50th anniversary game on next Saturday at home to Old Church, who were playing in the trophy today against Yeovil. But it is a week where Liam McDonald is going to have to do some reflecting, along with his staff and his players. But we hope to see you there in good spirits, as best spirits as you can be, next Saturday. But it has finished here at the Flannery. Leiston 4, Kettering Town 1, and we are about to embark on a very long journey home. See you later.